This is just a quick how-to on how to use the new Precision Target Log with Ballistic. I'm going to show you a few features here that are available in 3.8 that should be out by mid-November. This process is very easy to do, but it takes a little bit of getting used to. So I'm going to walk you through it here. I've got a new range log entry, and I've created a target log record here, and I've got my photo album open. So now I'm going to just select a picture of a target. Now, one of the new features in 3.8 is that you can stretch and pinch the target to wherever you'd like it to go to place it on the screen. So I'm going to leave it right about here. If you're using 3.7, then that target will just be centered on your screen. So now I've got a picture of the target that was shot. The first thing you need to do is to scale the target, and that basically tells Ballistic how big the target really is in real life. So we're going to tap the grouping tab here. That's going to bring up my grouping data, and then you'll see a button marked Scale Target. Now, this brings up a small target scaling ruler. It's on a black background, so if you double tap it, the ruler actually turns white. It's much easier to use. At this point, you can simply put your index finger onto the ruler, and you can move it around if you like. You want to eventually move it to the direct center of your target, which will tell Ballistic exactly how far off your group is from the center of the target. But for now, the first thing you need to do is scale it. So I'm just going to put my index finger on the ruler and then stick my thumb anywhere on the screen. It's going to automatically start to scale. And you can see here I can slide my fingers down, and the ruler's not going to go anywhere vertically, so I can scale it and get a good look at it at the same time. So I'm going to scale it right about there. Usually the X-ring on most targets is about 1 inch or possibly a ½ an inch depending on what kind of target you're shooting at. So it'd be a good idea to just grab a ruler and measure your actual target. You want to cover 1 inch of the target. Once you do that, make sure that the ruler is centered at the center of the target, of course, and then press the Done button up top. Now that's going to set the target scale, and here we see 88 points per inch. You can also manually edit this just by tapping in the field. So if you're used to, say, 90 points per inch and you use the same target every time you go shooting, you can just enter that manually without having to scale it every time. I'm going to set this for 88, which looks to be a rather appropriate scale for this target. So now I hit done. At this point now I can go and I can place my scoring rings, my impact markers around the points of impact on the target. If I do that right now though, the default projectile diameter is 0.5, which defaults to 50 cal. So I'll push 1 right here, and you see here that my impact marker is about the size of a small Volkswagen. So what I need to do is I'm going to tap the grouping tab at the top again, and under projectile diameter, I'm going to type in 357. This was a 357 Magnum that this was shot with. And then hit enter, and you can see here it's scaled down the size of the ring now. So if I go back here, I'm going to just delete this marker. And now, looking at the target, I have got 3 X-ring shots, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 ring shots. So I am going to create, let's see, 3X. I'm just going to type X into the scoring field here, and then tap plus 1, 2, 3. I'm going to type 10, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it looks like I've got 1 9 ring shot. So I might as well create that too. 9. Okay, now these target markers were all created on top of each other right here. So I'm just going to start dragging these into place here. And all you have to do now in 3.8 is you can drag from almost anywhere on the screen. It will pick the impact marker that you're nearest to and automatically grab that. So it's much easier to grab these now. So I'm going to move these markers into place, which is relatively easy to do. And we want to keep the impact marker number consistent with the score that we've created. So you can see here now I've got my impact markers covered. It looks like I need to create one more 10 ring score marker here, so create that. Move that right into place. Okay, now at this point I've got all my markers lined up, and it may not show it very well in the video, but as you move these you can actually see, I'll try and zoom in a little bit, you can see these guides that show me exactly how far away from nearby adjacent markers my impact marker currently is. So if I am actually measuring this on paper, I can measure this out on the screen as well to match what I read on paper. So once I've got these into place now, I'm going to tap up on the grouping tab again. That's going to create an overlay outlining what my group looks like. And you can see that there is a green rectangle marking the actual size of the group, as well as a gray rectangle marking the outside of the group. There you'll also see a red dotted line, which indicates it's drawn between your largest spread. And you've also got, you can't really see it here because this group is pretty well centered, but there is a green dotted line that shows you your offset directly to the center of the target. Now you've also got some analytics here. You can see the max spread, min spread measurements. These are all in inches. You can convert them to centimeters by changing your units to metric. Now if you go back here and type the actual distance into your range log that you were firing at, let's say 50 yards for example, and then go back into your target, now when you tap the grouping tab you'll see analytics both in inches as well as in minutes here, so you can get a readout of both. It's not extremely useful when firing a 357 at close range, but if you're shooting long range rifle for example, that can be very handy. Some of the other things you can do is you can change the ring style here. So I've got ring identified for an impact marker style. If I tap round here, you'll see now it's changed the points of impact into round circles. You can also simulate what a paper impact looks like here. If you're using a spent target though, you're probably going to want to use your ring. That way you can easily line it up with the actual paper holes that are in your target. So that's it really. It's very simple to use once you get the hang of it. If you have any questions about this feature, feel free to send me an email. Thanks.